This is CBC.
Every day, Floyd's out checking his canola for flea beetles. And every day, I've got extra time for other jobs. You see, I switched to Counter 5G. So from the day I plant, my canola's protected. And I'm not worried about having to spray. You can't buy better granular protection against flea beetles than Counter 5G. It's field proven. Counter 5G gives me peace of mind. Next year, it'll give Floyd peace of mind, too.
Counter 5G from Cyanamid. We're concerned about your canola.
Coming to terms with grief. Part of a continuing series brought to you by Bardal Funeral Home.
For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings.
Winnipeg's original Bardal Funeral Home for personalized pre-arrangement plans.
Trouble. Hi, this week on Switchback, we'll learn all about how synthesizers make music from local keyboard wizard Norm Duga. And we go out to talk to the kids in Port Prairie. What do you want?
A Switchback back.
I'm sorry, I gave you one, you
I
gave it
want
away.
another Switchback back.
Sorry, forget it.
I want another Switchback back.
Not a chance.
I want another...
Hey!
I found a
Oh,
Switchback
you
back.
found one. That's mine. Thank you.
No,
No, you had one.
want this.
You gave it away.
Not all stores are created equal. Some have people and no parts. Others have parts and no people. And sometimes you get the feeling that no one has time to listen to you. And the only advice you ever get is when you're at home.
Harry, why don't you ask them to help you?
At Sutherland, Harry found the parts and the people. There's no other place you have to go. It's Sutherland first.
People you can trust, Sutherland Centres.
Harry, I told you to go to Sutherland.
24 hours, Manitoba's finest hour, weeknights at 6.
Provincial Affairs, a series of free-time telecasts by Manitoba's political parties. Tonight for the New Democratic Party, Len Evans, MLA for Brandon East.
Recently, Statistics Canada released data showing that as of January 1, 1985, Manitoba's population had reached 1,065,000, up 11,400 in the past year. Further, the statistics indicate that since your NDP government has been elected, the population has increased by approximately 35,000 persons. This is in sharp contrast to the serious decline that occurred under the Conservatives, who were in government between October 1977 and November 1981. Not since the major economic depression of the 1930s did we experience such an absolute shrinkage of our population as under the Conservative administration. Let's take a look at a few charts to illustrate our population patterns over the past several years. The trend in total population can be seen in this chart, which shows a significant increase in the past 3 years. However, the following chart reveals more clearly the population gains and losses that have occurred in the past decade. We can note that serious declines in our total population levels occurred in 1978 and 1979, with very little change in 1980. The source of this population decline under the Conservatives was the massive exodus of people to other provinces. This net outflow of people largely occurred because Manitoba's economy compared poorly with other provinces at that time. This is shown in the next chart, which contains information on net interprovincial migration for the past 10 years. Here we can see the large net outflows that we experienced, such as the 13,800 loss in 1979, or the loss of over 11,300 in 1980. In contrast, in the past 3 years of your New Democratic Party government, we experienced a net inflow of people. This is the first time this has occurred since interprovincial migration statistics have been tabulated. Another way of looking at our population expansion is to compare our Manitoba growth rates with the average national growth rates. In this chart, we can see the negative rates that occurred in 1978 and 1979. In contrast, Manitoba has exceeded the national population growth rate during our NDP term in government since 1981. This increased population, of course, will stimulate more residential construction, provide larger markets for our manufacturing sector, our retail and service sector, and other industries. In particular, the positive interprovincial migration in the past few years reflects Manitoba's economic strength relative to other provinces. Through our Manitoba Jobs Fund and other economic programs, your provincial government has stimulated economic growth and created jobs. While no provincial government can totally offset a national economic recession, a responsible provincial government must make employment creation a top priority. Regrettably, in the past few months, federal government cutbacks have dampened employment opportunities in Manitoba. Furthermore, the federal government has reduced funding for summer jobs in Manitoba by over $2 million this year. Regardless, your Manitoba New Democratic Party government, with the cooperation and assistance of business, labor, and the farm sector, will continue to create job opportunities and will attempt to keep our unemployment rates among the lowest of the Canadian provinces. Thank you, and good evening.
This has been a Free Time Provincial Affairs telecast. Tonight for the New Democratic Party, Len Evans, MLA for Brandon East. Provincial Affairs is produced in the CBC Winnipeg studios.
CBC.
Sir Thomas Button came here in 1612 looking for the Northwest Passage. What he found was the beautiful and powerful body of water now known as the Nelson River. On this site, 750 kilometers northeast of Winnipeg, construction will soon begin on a major power project, the Limestone Generating Station. When completed, limestone will harness the power of the Nelson, producing 1,200 megawatts of electricity, enough for a city about the size of Winnipeg. And limestone will generate jobs, over 6,000 person-years of employment in construction, and over 11,000 person-years of spin-off employment will be created in other industries. In fact, all Manitobans will benefit. For more information, contact the Manitoba Jobs Fund Limestone Development Office. The Manitoba Jobs Fund, working to help Manitobans benefit from limestone.
Eveready announces, great adventure of the earth, your time has come. Now you could win a luxury GM camping van by Curtis, complete with a Tamer geodesic tent, boat, backpacks, sleeping bags, or one of 500 Bushnell binoculars. All you need to do is reach for the force of Eveready super heavy-duty batteries. With every entry, you get $1 worth of mailback coupons. So go now to your nearest store and seek the great adventure that lies before you.
A Travel Air Lowlight is a holidayer's delight. Makes towing a breeze. Our Lowlight fifth wheels, 18.5 feet and up, are the lowest and lightest designed. New, spacious floor plans, too. Crafted with light and durable cedar frame hollow core plywood, not crumbly particle board. True luxurious comfort. That's Travel Air quality. We build them all, we build them better.
Now at Kirschke's RV Ranch, Highway 59 South.
It's Masters Golf action on Sports Weekend, Sunday at 2.
Good evening. Ontario environment officials are cleaning up a PCB chemical spill in Kenora, Ontario tonight. The chemical spilled onto the lot of the Kenora Husky service station on Highway 17 when a transformer being transported on a semi-trailer developed a leak. Jim Gilbert, the manager of the service station, says he's been advised to close up until the toxic chemical is cleaned up. He said the environment officials plan to pour sand on the chemical spill and deposit the substance in 45-gallon drums. The PCB chemical is used as a coolant in transformers. The semi-trailer was operated by Kinetic Ecological Resources Group of Nisku, Alberta, and was on its way to the company's storage site in Edmonton. The Kenora Police say officials of the company will be arriving from Edmonton to help in the cleanup. Garment workers at 2 10J factories in Winnipeg today voted overwhelmingly in favor of a strike. The union says it's only asking for a fair contract. Wally Jackson reports.
About 100 members of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union gathered at the Philippine Centre for the strike vote. The union represents about 210 workers at 10J's factories on McDermott and Inkster Boulevard. When the meeting ended, the manager of the union local said the workers voted 95% in favor of a strike.
We've had 8 meetings so far, and until this time, the position of the company has been ridiculous. We've been attempting to negotiate, and the company wants the demands that the company has on the table are ridiculous, and we simply could not accept them. We're asking for a wage increase to make sure that workers don't work there for $4.50 an hour, because most of the workers there cannot make piecework. We're asking for an increase in benefits, and the company so far has put no no proposal on the table for benefits.
Spillett says further negotiations are planned for next Tuesday. But as one man put it, we're not expecting much change in the company's position, especially since 8 other bargaining sessions have accomplished little. Wally Jackson, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Loss is estimated at $250,000 in a fire today at the Little Saskatchewan Indian Reserve in Manitoba. The blaze destroyed a building which had been used at one time as a clothing factory. Gypsumville RCMP say the fire started as a result of people burning grass in the area. Well, it was a great day to be outside in the Winnipeg area, and for some, the weather was ideal for spring cleanup. The councillor for the Point Douglas area took advantage of the sunny, warm conditions to arrange a cleanup of the riverbank on the Assiniboine River.
These people, Wally, are from the Correctional Institute of Headingley, and they're the weekenders who have to serve community work, which upon sentence, the judge felt that they'd be better off to do community work instead of sitting in the institute, and they've started actually last December. We had some of them out here cleaning the riverbank, and starting this morning, we're going on a full scale every weekend, and hopefully even during the week. This mess, I think, has been here for a number of years. I think it's kind of a dumping garbage grounds, you know, for some of the people in the apartment block and people around. When they see a vacant spot like this, they just dump everything. Going down through the various parts of the city, it's my area is not the only one that's bad like this. It's throughout the whole city of Winnipeg, and hopefully that others will catch on. Some of the other councillors and with the city administration, they'll just latch on to the same program as what we've got started over here.
The Western Canada Aviation Museum in Winnipeg has officially unveiled a replica of one of the largest single-engine aircraft to fly in Canada. It was converted and restored for the museum by Bristol Aerospace.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Bob May of Bristol Aerospace, I'm very pleased to be here today to turn over the aircraft to the museum. We have, all of us at Bristol, enjoyed having the aircraft in the plant and looking at it. It's certainly been a great conversation piece. Nobody has failed to stop and look at it. The many visitors that we have, it's already been on display, you might say.
The airplane was very significant in Canada back in the 30s and 40s. It was a Junkers-produced German airplane brought over to sort of be the latest thing in aviation transportation at the time. To haul freight into the north, it was purchased by and operated by Canadian Airways, owned by the Richardson family. Flew basically out of Winnipeg, but it was all over Canada. Its main claim to fame being that it could haul large freight through the roof hatch, wherever they wanted to get it in, and take it anywhere in Canada. So it was a very unique airplane in its own way.
What about memories of flying this aircraft?
Oh, vast memories.
What do you remember most about it?
I don't know, because I came over originally to bring the engine over. That was in '35, and I suppose really since then, it's always been vast memories. I think possibly because of being in Canada is one of them. It's just a marvelous country.
How do you feel about it being here today?
Oh, I think it's marvelous. Absolutely magnificent. I'm only so sorry that it's not the original.
A truck driver was killed yesterday in a collision between his vehicle and a freight train in Carberry, Manitoba. The accident happened at a railroad crossing in the town. The RCMP haven't yet identified the victim. The federal report on the emergency landing nearly 2 years ago of an Air Canada jet at Gimli, Manitoba has been sent to Ottawa. A lawyer for the inquiry says it's up to the Minister of Transport, Don Mazankowski, to decide when to release the report. The inquiry was into the landing of a Boeing 767, which ran out of fuel on a flight from Montreal to Edmonton. And turning now to the weather, the forecast first of all for the city of Winnipeg, mainly clear tonight, sunny on Sunday, lows tonight near 3 degrees and highs Sunday near 16. Cloudy periods on Monday and cooler temperatures, brisk northwest winds. For northern Manitoba, just a few clouds tonight with lows near 0. Increasing cloud on Sunday, highs near 10 degrees. Monday's outlook calls for flurries and northwest winds, colder temperatures. For northwestern Ontario, mainly clear tonight, lows from -4 to -7. Mostly sunny on Sunday, highs from 8 to 11 degrees. Monday's outlook calls for isolated showers or even flurries, cooler temperatures. Currently in the city of Winnipeg, 9 degrees, also 9 at Portage. Brandon reports 10 degrees this hour, 8 at Gimli. Dauphin has 14 degrees, 9 degrees at the Paw. Flin Flon has 8 degrees this hour, +3 at Lynn Lake, 6 degrees at Thompson. Churchill -5, +4 at Kenora, 0 at Atikokan, 6 at Red Lake, and it's +2 at Fort Francis and Sioux Lookout. And that's news and weather. Ron Hodge is here with sports. Well, the Jets lost tonight, not good news, but they still have another game or two to make it up.
Yes, but they also lost their team captain, Dale Howard-Chuck. We're not too sure how serious it is, but it could be a very devastating loss for the Winnipeg Jets. We'll have the highlights and more sports when we come back.
Goes down so nice. Yes, it's Labatt's life.